When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And when the developers give you automation, you kind of have to scrap an entire episode and load an older save. We are just gonna go straight into this, and the first thing I want is a depth sensor right here. This depth sensor is going to activate as long as the badwater level is above 0. And then this badwater pump over here can stay active but automate based on the output of this depth sensor over here. Oh, we have a badtide incoming. That's fine, that's fine. Next up, sluices no longer exist in this game. So let's get rid of these. And let's be honest, we never really needed sluices over here anyway. However, our beavers still need to be able to build everything. So let's make some platforms so that they can actually cross over. I mean, there's no reason for them to cross over because there's this zipline station right here to cross this place. But hey, things need to look natural. Oh, and before these floodgates actually cause a flood, we're gonna set this to say 0.8 is gonna be more than enough for now. Eventually, I don't really want water to be flowing this way anyway. We're gonna pause this river up just like we paused this one. Now let's get back to our industry because the industry needs a lot of love right now. Let's just clean up the path over here and we're gonna build this place up just like that. And a path on top as well so that the beavers can actually get over here. And down here is basically where I want a paper mill that can fit snugly in there, right? Yep. And let's also fit a wood workshop over here. Great. There we go. Now, why do I need both of these buildings? Well, you see a lot of the new automation tools over here, especially ones that I want, like this timer. It either needs treated planks or paper. So basically, this playthrough is no longer about waiting around. We have delayed our endgame long enough. That's gonna be a triple lodge, the first on this map by the way, first of many to come, which is gonna let us have a lot more beavers. Excuse me, why are you getting flooded over here? Oh crap, oh crap. Yeah, just needed a little tuning. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, why are you here? Go away. Because sluices no longer exist. So we need valves over here as well, please. Yeah, so some of them also need metal scrap, such as this science counter over here. So we're also going to need a scavenger flag to get us some more scrap metal. And it looks like our little experiment over here was actually successful. Yeah, the badtide is not able to escape from this place. Now we can also get rid of these sluices over here and upgrade this place as well with valves. Alright, and we're finally ready to start automating some resources. So let's start with the wood resources first, okay? Which is that we need planks, then we also need to make gears, then we also need to make paper, and we also need treated planks. Now all of these are going to be measuring the percentage of storage and we're gonna set it up to say 85%. Yeah, we might as well, right? Okay, so all of these are going to measure if the storage is below 85%. However, you're about to see the problem with this setup really soon. As soon as I actually set the buildings up, you know. So that's going to be the lumber mills set up. They're paused right now. The percentage of storage is gonna go down. And now that the percentage is at 85%, they're gonna make some lumber, they're gonna turn off, the lumber gets used up, they turn on again, and you know, several times a day, this is gonna happen, and that's not really good. Which is why we need timers over here. Okay, so timers let you basically delay a signal whether it turns on or off. So for example, with the lumber mill, we're gonna select this sensor over here, and we're gonna say, yeah, don't delay the turning on at all, so we're just gonna set that to say 0 ticks. However, you can delay the turning off by 18 hours. So whenever the building actually is needed, it should work for a whole day. And now we can use this timer to actually determine whether or not these lumber mills turn on. Let's just build some more storage over here for, you know, the industry down here. Now here's what's gonna happen. As soon as this plank counter turns on, this timer should basically turn on along with it. However, even though this plank counter will be off, the timer shall remain on for at least one workday. There we go. The lumber mills are working now. The plank counter is off, but the timer stays on and the lumber mills stay on as well. Now we just need to basically replicate this stuff everywhere else. For that, we're gonna paste these settings over, and then all we need to do is just change the resource counter that it's looking at. And I'm just going to change their names as well to something that makes sense. So planks needed, gears needed, papers please, and treated planks needed. Now the various workshops need to basically listen to all of these things as well. Oh, forgot about metal. Yeah, we might as well do the metal too. So that's the industry automated. Now we should start using a lot less power than we were, because a building, even if it's idle, uses power, which is really not okay. Well, would you look at that, our valves are done, and we can finally get rid of these final sluice gates over here and set up some valves over there too. Now this is going to cause some problems as soon as this bad tide ends, but it's okay, because solving problems is what we live for. Now let's just make our way over here and get rid of these dams too. Those dams are the reason our flooding problems happened. And we're still going to make the staircase because the staircase makes sense. Everything shall remain accessible. Now here's the plan. Next drought, we get rid of these sluice gates as well. Until then, we need depth sensors. And we need them in really weird places, okay? So we need one over here. We need one just right next door to these sluices. And you know what? We're just gonna place another one right next to that. No, we're gonna place a platform over here and place a depth sensor on top of that. Yeah, that's much better. Oh. This valve needs to stop. Yeah, we kind of flooded everything. It's okay. Forgot about placing a depth sensor right over here as well. Yeah, please just prioritize that one. Thank you. Because these valves need to be automated with this depth sensor, and this depth sensor basically needs to activate if the water level is below 0.85. Yeah, sure, why not? So when the depth sensor is off, no water shall flow. When it's on though, I want a little bit of water to flow. Just a little tiny bit, please. Say 0.5, and we're gonna see how it works. Oh, all of this place is gonna flood up because these valves need to close as well, and these ones down here as well. Okay, now we basically need to just wait for the water to evaporate down here. And how much water do these valves let through? Like, is it gonna cause any flooding problem? It is. So we're gonna lower this to 0.3 now. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, that's causing a lot of sloshing up here. Oh no, how do we fix that? Okay, reaction speed, let's change that to 50%. Okay, hey, that's good. Okay, no, even lower reaction speed, say 30%. We're gonna let this run for a day or two. We're gonna see if anything goes wrong. Looks fine to me. There's no flooding downstream as well. Why do I feel like this is causing a lot of water to be wasted though? I don't know. Just seems like it. Okay, the actual flow rate is really low. Like really low. Alright, we'll see how it works. So if I just copy the valve settings over here and place them on these ones, and then just change the depth sensor basically. Yeah, because I don't want to do this over and over again. And tell the depth sensor to maintain water at, say, 3.85. Yeah, so activate when it's below 3.85. So that should be active and the water should flow down now. Okay, let's copy the settings over to these three and we just need to change the depth sensor. Yeah, change it to this one and you're going to activate when the water is below 0.9. Okay, how does this look? Let's take a look. It's not bad, if I'm being honest. Yeah, let's raise these up as well so that we can actually, collect some water. 0.95. All right, that's gonna overflow, obviously, but only for like a tiny little bit, okay? It fixes itself. Yeah, but this one down here is still making me very, very anxious. What if we just activate when you're below it instead of below or equal? No, that's just gonna cause the problem to go further down. I think I'm worrying too much. Okay, we're gonna be able to tell during the drought if this is actually wasting more water than it used to with the sluice gates, okay? And would you look at that? All of our industries, well, not all of our industry, everything that we set up over here is now paused. And we have 7 jobless beavers. Oh, that is so good. We're gonna build another builder's hut with lowest priority as well. Okay, now the lowest priority stuff actually makes sense, okay? Okay, now that we actually have more resources, right? I wanna make something more complex over here. So basically what I wanna do is copy that resource one right here. And we're also going to copy a timer right next to it. This one is going to measure like badwater. And this time around, I want below 90%. And the timer can just take a look at this badwater counter. However, there's no point in enabling the badwater pumps if there's no badwater over here, which is going to be the case during droughts, okay? And when all of this badwater gets pumped up. So basically, what we need to do is set up some additional logic right here, which is going to be done with the relay. So how's the relay gonna work? The relay is only gonna activate if the depth sensor and this timer is active. So that's the depth sensor, that's the timer. And the condition over here is AND. So the relay can then be called the badwater pumps. And you guys are just gonna look at that relay instead of anything else on the map. Now we could also set up some complicated stuff over here. So for example, gears should only turn on if there are planks and stuff like that. But no, maybe when we're approaching the end game, not right now though. That would be way too crazy for right now. Now let's actually get to the main objective today, which is gonna be to split this river into two. Alright, so we might as well get this over with, which are gonna be the last sluices on this map, I believe. Let me just confirm. We can just zoom out. Nope, no more sluices over here. But I also want to design this differently this time around. We might need to get rid of these floodgates too. Baby steps though, baby steps. First of all, we need to make our way all the way over here so that we can place these valves, and what they're gonna let us do is, yeah, of course I'm gonna pressurize this. What did you think? I wasn't gonna pressurize the water source because they got rid of sluices? Nope, that's not gonna happen. There we go. I believe that should be everything, right? Yep, just impermeable floors on top, and that's it. Now I'm gonna need you guys to get rid of these thorns as well, because we need to send any potential badtide off the map, which I probably should have done ages ago. Alright, so next over here we need to do some landscaping, and for that we're gonna need some dynamites. This is also a good time to unpause my centrifuge as well as the explosives factory, which needs to make explosives. There's also fireworks now. We'll talk about that some other day. Alrighty folks, can you lay down all of this dynamite already please? There we go. Let's make it go boom. That's always fun to do. This part is gonna be fun because we need to place down two more of these valves over here, and the rest of the space we can just block off. There we go, those are the valves, and the levee's done. Perfect. Now previously we had a ton of controls over here, which we don't anymore. Thankfully, the only thing we need is a weather station. So we're just gonna place one on top over here. Come on Mr. Beavers, finish up that weather station. Lovely. And now we're just gonna link this row of valves. Thankfully you only need to link one of them, and this row as well, to the weather station. Now the weather station is gonna check for bad tides, and basically it's gonna activate during a bad tide. There is no point in activating this early because we're right at the water source. Alright, so when the weather station is off, then that's going to be this top section over here. I want the flow to be unlimited in this row of valves over here. And when the weather station is on, I want the flow to be 0. So basically the valve will be closed. Now we just need to do the opposite of that over here. So when the weather station is off, yeah, don't send any water over here because that's all going to be good water. And of course, when the weather station is on, yeah, just send all of the bad water this way. Thank you. Now we just need to wait for a bad tide. But hey, ain't nobody got time for that, okay? We're gonna do some other fun stuff right now, which is that we're gonna get rid of these floodgates first of all. Yeah, let's just get rid of these floodgates right now. And in their place, we're gonna be placing levees because we are gonna create a final layered dam up here. So that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 valves down there, and then levees on top of that. There we go, that's much cleaner. Oh, and the beavers can't really get to these last pieces over here. So it's about time we unlock these basic overhangs, Oh, and the spiral staircases. Oh, how I missed the spiral staircases on this map. There we go, that's everything done. Now this place up here, we can basically fill all the way to 2.9. And then we're gonna copy this setting, which is gonna be like 30% reaction speed and the really low flow rate. That's the important bit. We're gonna copy that and we're gonna paste them over here to these sluices. Sorry, valves. I keep calling them sluices, okay? And of course, their depth sensor needs to be this one. Also, how long was this drought? Because we kind of ran out of water. That's not good. Anyway, we don't care about that. What we care about right now, though, are these dynamites. Because we're gonna place some over here. Okay, and now we're gonna go to the other side and we're basically gonna do the same thing over there as well. But no, why am I making a lumberjack flag? Just delete these trees. We don't care about trees anymore. Yeah, and let's just dig up a single tile over there as well. And let's detonate these ones now. Perfect. And basically, here's the idea behind this, okay? Fresh water is gonna fill up down here, then it's gonna fill up in like all of these dams, and then when this top one overflows, it's gonna divert it into both of these rivers. And because they're both kind of mirrored, I believe the same amount of water should be going into both of them. Yeah, but also I'm not really happy with how much water we're drinking, people. Okay, the flow over here is unlimited, but this one is not running. Why not? Oh, the measurement is wrong. It needs to be less than. My bad, my bad. Also, I'm pretty sure the flow rate we can like increase now to say 1 because the reaction speed is lower. So if I make the reaction speed even lower, does that mean I can increase the flow rate further? Now the reaction speed does need to be high, at least over here in this dam. Okay, I wonder what the best settings are. This looks fine. Let's copy these settings down here. And I'm pretty sure this one is redundant, but I'm still gonna keep it. It looks fun. Let's check if during temperate weather, this one works. So temperate weather and they basically switch off, right? Yeah, this one is off and this one is on. Yeah, the reason I did that is basically to confirm if during a bad tide, these would swap over because they're basically set to be opposites of each other. Now, is there any water being wasted? Like, are we draining any water anywhere apart from this place, you know? It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like we are. So yeah. Oh, and I never got to see the water that flows down from this side. Oh man. Oh well, oh well. And we're just back into a 25-day drought right away. Not a fan of that. Okay, it's been 13 days during the drought and I am going to get rid of these water pumps because we are gonna be finally getting ourselves the large water pump, which is basically the Folktales exclusive, which screams, I am never gonna have water problems and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, we are going to need a couple of metal platforms over here so that we can place these very easily, and this is basically what I want. But these pumps work really fast. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna automate them and we're gonna link them with the same weather station. Wait, if I measure temperate weather over here and I basically swap the settings of both of these valves, because it doesn't really matter if this side is open during the drought, that area is not gonna have water anyway, then I can use this weather station to toggle these large water pumps. Oh, lovely. That is called efficiency, people. Oh, and then we can basically just maximum priority these as well. Hey, that means that we should probably build more large tanks somewhere, okay? And where should we place our stockpile? The water stockpile. Oh, we're gonna use this lake anyway, so we might as well start building this over here. And yeah, let's make this better. So instead of this zipline station, we're gonna place these like that. Let's prioritize the zipline stations so that we can actually connect these up together. And because this one is kind of useless right now, if I'm being honest. So just destroy that zipline station, connect this one over here, then to the industry, and then we can head on up there. Also, I don't know why, but my brain's telling me that this flow limit of 0.3 is not going to be enough to keep up with these over here. How much is 0.3 per second compared to the working hour stuff over here? It seems like they're just completely different units of measurement. I'm gonna raise this flow limit up to 0.5 just in case. Oh, and we don't have power anymore. Well, we can pause the explosive factories and stuff. We don't need those right now. And I really hope that these beavers can fill up the water bottles. But I don't really have my hopes up right now, okay? We're gonna need more contemplation spots as well. So let's get some. 1, 2, 3. And let's get some more decorations as well now that we actually have the science and everything. Oh yeah, sounds nice. Oh, and don't forget the beaver statues, okay? Those are really helpful too. And apparently they need a bulletin board close to, you know, all of their places. Okay, I want one more large water tank over here. So let's get ourselves some triple platforms and place these on top. Yeah, because if I just calculate how much water I need stored for a 30-day drought, right? It comes out to around 5,000. So I'm not really going to be increasing my population unless I have basically double that. Also, it's about time that we start replacing these windmills with the large wind turbines. Oh yeah, those are much better than these small ones. Okay, that's the drought over, and water should flow this way, and it should not fill up anywhere until this bottom one fills up. Oh, and the water pumps should also start working over here, which they are. And these beavers, yeah, 100% well-being bonus. Lovely. Now the thing that I'm like keeping an eye on is, oh, it's getting flooded. We need to lower this flow rate to 0.3. 0.3 is not enough apparently. No, never mind, it was enough. So now it's about, holy moly, what's going on? What happened? Yeah, I should not have done that. That was completely my bad. So basically just increase the reaction speed so that they can close down faster, and then we can reduce the reaction speed after things, you know, have been fixed. And now this top one should fill up over here and the water can just go away now. Lovely. What about this one? Why is this not closing? Yeah, it takes some time to close down and that's not really okay. Man, the fine tuning is like so intense now. Okay, we've got one more day left. How much water are you guys going to be able to pump during the day? Because I have a feeling that you're not going to be able to. You were not able to pump up enough water for all of my water storages during, the minimum possible good tide time. But that was not because of a shortage of water or the flow rate. Yeah, the flow rate was not a problem either. Yeah, we basically need more pumps. See, I like that problem. That problem is actually something that we can easily solve because we can make more water pumps. What we cannot do is bring more water into the map. But since there was a lot of water flowing this way, yeah, we should not really have any problem. Okay, now the water is basically being wasted over here as well. That's not good. What's wrong with you? This threshold needs to be much lower, if I'm being honest. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, since we were wasting a lot of more water, that means we can collect a lot more water as well. For now though, we're gonna disable this automation so that you guys can fill up the water bottles that we have. And we're gonna try again next drought. But I'm really hopeful about this stuff, okay? I'm not really concerned. We're gonna be able to do this really easily now. Also, I just realized we don't have storage for treated planks. That is a blunder. Oh yeah, we have more than 5,000 water now, so I feel comfortable turning this back on with the weather station. There we go.